Good evening, everybody. It's 9:30 on the East Coast, 6:30 on the West Coast on a Monday evening. It must be time for your Calamity Jane weekly live stream. James, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing just dandy. How are you?
Well, good, given that we apparently have 20 subscribers to our YouTube channel, which far
Yeah.
exceeds any number that I was expecting we'd ever have.
Well, the one of my favorite running jokes is to say that we want to, entertain our tens of subscribers. And now I have to say twenties.
20s of subscribers, I know.
So I guess I have to adjust the numbers a little bit, but whatever.
Well, it's good that you're keeping the joke fresh and up to date, though. I mean, the last thing we want is for the jokes to get stale.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like if anybody wants to, anybody wants to beat a dead horse, it's me. That's all I'm good for.
Well, one of
So
my favorite things, one of my favorite sketches in the Conan O'Brien show back when he was still on late night was in the year 2000. And that was
oh,
something that he was doing in the year or two before the year 2000 and then kept doing it after the
yeah,
year
absolutely.
2000 happened. And that somehow made it even funnier.
Yeah. Conan's brand of humor is right up. I love Conan O'Brien. I think he got ripped off by Leno.
Yeah,
Late.
it was a crime.
Yeah, it's a shame he's on late night now.
But what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
You got us 20 subscribers. 20 subscribers have got us, which is nothing close to
Hmm.
Conan.
No, 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 no. But in
We'll
any
do
case, so what are we working on tonight? Or should I say you working on tonight?
Let's see. I will share my screen, and we will just resume where we left off last week.
Okay.
To recap, I mean, I was just kind of going through and just doing the. You see the animatic underneath.
Mm-hmm.
The actual rough animation passed now. And so the time is not going to match perfectly to what the animatic is, but I got key drawings that I can kind of base some stuff off of. So for today, I'm going to do the rest of I'm just going to keep going forward. I'm going to do straight ahead animation. She's going to turn, look at the bike, look at Tinsel, and then bend down to start getting the water hose.
Okay.
So that's my goal tonight, is to kind of just keep plowing forward. So.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, I don't have anything too exciting going on right now. I went and saw Everything Everywhere All at Once again yesterday. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
And as expected. I mean, now that I know the story and everything, there were moments that I picked up that I hadn't picked up on before, and that was pretty fun. One of the things that I picked up on, and I've never heard this sound anywhere else, so I'm pretty confident that I'm speaking the truth here. At one point, she uses Michelle Yeoh's character Evelyn uses her pinky to flick a guy up into
yeah,
the air.
yeah.
The sound effect that makes when she hits him and he goes flying is the same sound effect that the baseball bat makes in Super Smash Brothers when you hit an enemy. It's called the ching. Yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's pretty hilarious actually. Um,
That is pretty funny.
yeah, and I've never heard that sound effect anywhere else. So I'm gonna call it and say that that's a fun Easter egg for anybody paying attention. They use the Smash Brothers sound effect.
Wow, that's trippy.
It was pretty funny.
That's cool. I think we've talked about Smash Brothers before. I'm not nearly as well versed in Smash Brothers as you are. So if you're probably one of the biggest Smash Brothers fans I know that knows a lot of those characters in and out. So the fact that you can pick up that sound effect, I think it's a huge obscure Easter egg for anybody that plays Smash and uses that baseball bat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is baseball bat that common in the game? Like,
Well, I mean, it depends, right? I mean, tournament players turn off all items. They turn off all stage elements. They just basically play it like a traditional fighting game, which I find to be boring. I find that the chaos of items is a lot
yeah,
more entertaining.
yeah.
Um, and in fact, like the only way I can win anymore, like when I play tournament players, their way, I of course lose, right?
You play with tournament players?
I've played with tournament players. I can win occasionally, but I mean they're tournament players. So if I were winning regularly against them, then they wouldn't be very good tournament players. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I have found though that when I play them, when we just turn on regular stage elements and turn on items, they're so unfamiliar with the mechanics and the pros and cons of each items that then I have an upper hand, right?
Huh.
And I can win more regularly in that way. But tournament players are interestingly unwilling to do anything but what they want, right? So, I'll go, okay, fine, we'll play the way you want to play. And we'll turn off items, we'll turn off stage elements, we'll just play on the Omega version of all the stages. Maybe Battlefield, but that's it.
Okay.
But then when I go, hey, I want to play my way, can we turn on the items and the stages again? It's like, oh, that's stupid. That's not fun. That's not fun that way. I'm like, okay, well, glad to know that tournament players are so open to other experiences.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think part of the charm of Smash Brothers is the fact that it's chaotic.
In my opinion, yeah, for sure.
There's no rhyme or reason to anything. It's just.
Well, I mean, the logic, and I understand the logic. Items and stage elements add an element of randomness, chaos, things that you can't control.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
if there's one thing that tournament players in any fighting game don't like, it's randomness. If they're gonna lose, and this isn't a slight. I understand the instinct, right? If you're gonna lose, they want to lose on their own merits.
That's true. I can see that. That's true.
I would argue then why are you playing Smash Brothers? But whatever. That is, frankly, this is irrespective of nothing. I mean, Masahiro Sakurai, despite the fact that in the past he's mocked tournament players for playing the game wrong, has recognized that fans of the game are fans of the game.
Yeah.
And so he's made a lot of concessions to get them to play. So he added all for last couple of games he added Omega versions for every stage, so people didn't have to play on Final Destination only. He added pretty robust item adjustments. You can turn on items, you can change which items are on, you can change their frequency, right? So he's given tournament players a lot of reasons to stay with the game, despite his own personal desires and design intentions. He's sort of realized that, to a certain extent, this isn't his game alone anymore. It's,
And get it over.
which is good. And, it's a lot of extra work for him, but what I appreciate is he hasn't sacrificed players like me who are really more in it to have fun and don't really have any interest in, like, proving my prowess at a video game. I'm really just too old to care about that kind of stuff anymore. I really just want to laugh and be silly for a while.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun game. I remember sitting down with you to kind of go over some of the basic move sets and stuff like that with the game. Yeah, it's really fun. But again, like you, I'm getting old too, and I just don't have enough time to invest in every single game, with Elden Ring taking all my time these days, and that's a whole other thing to kind of get into as well. We could tonight, but yeah, you have to kind of pick and choose, which games you want to spend your time with, or if at all, or watching a TV show or something else.
Right. Smash Brothers is one of those games that I do spend a lot of time with, happily. I don't really know what the next Smash Brothers will look like, because, I mean, that there will be one. But I suspect we're not going to see another one until Nintendo releases whatever the follow-up to the Switch is going to be.
Yeah, you think it'll be, yeah. I thought you were telling me that, I can't remember pronounce his name. What's his name?
Masahiro Sakurai?
Okay, yeah. So didn't he say that he was kind of done making Smash Brothers? He's kind of burnt out on making it or something?
He said that literally every time he finished the Smash Brothers game. So maybe this time it'll be true. I don't know. But he said something that I agree with, that if another one happens, and I believe another one will eventually happen, he's going to basically reboot the entire roster. Because this game has ended up with something along the lines of 80 characters, maybe a little bit more than that. And that's just, and the number of licensing and obstacles, and just because there's characters from third parties, there's characters from competing hardware publishers. I mean, it really is become sort of this gaming experience. It's just, that kind of lightning in a bottle, I don't think you can really have strike twice. And so he's of the opinion that if he does another one, he's just going to basically reboot the roster completely and make it much, much smaller.
Mhm.
So it'll be curious to see. He's a really, really clever designer, so I'm really curious to see where he um, uh, goes with it, if he continues with it, or if they hand it off to somebody else.
Yeah, I just can't see. I mean, with how Smash Brothers is now, with the rosters like now, I just don't see how they could ever scale back. There's just a built-in expectation now. When's my video game character going to show up? Like
Mm-hmm.
things kind of changed when to me, kind of not to say that it jumped the shark, but it when I saw Snake from Metal Gear Solid make it into the game, I thought like, yeah, this is it's pretty much at a point now where anybody can be in this game, and when's it end? I don't know. That's what it feels like.
Well, I mean, in terms of the third-party characters, I really appreciated their choices. I mean, the only one that I didn't really have a lot of relationship to, well, there's a couple. I mean, um, Joker from Persona. I've never played a Persona game before, so I don't really have a lot of a relationship to him. And Sora from Kingdom Hearts has never been a particularly popular, you know, I know of it, but I've never played it, just like Persona. So those two characters really didn't mean anything to me, but I really appreciated what they did with most of the third party stuff, like Ryu and Ken fit perfectly, and Sonic and Mega Man I thought were great additions. And then a lot of almost every single one of the additional final roster of characters is Kazuma from Tekken and Terry Bogard from King of Fighters, and you
Yeah,
got the Alex Steve Minecraft character and Banjo Kazooie, and I mean, there's just a lot of really, really fun additions, in my opinion.
yeah,
So yeah, I really liked a lot of the characters that they brought in, and the thing about Masahiro Sakurai is he's such a pure fan of video games, right?
uh-huh.
The way he just really captured the essence of the characters, and and how it translated into Smash Brothers is really remarkable. I mean, it's really, really clever the way he integrated each character into the overall experience.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, it's quite a game. I mean, it really is a love letter to video games. I mean, Nintendo specifically, but video games in general.
Uh-huh.
And if they do another one, again, I believe that they will, but if they do another one, I'm really, really curious to see where they take it, which direction they go with it.
Yeah. I think the other thing that I think that you with the fact that they added all these characters, like I said, for me, even though to me it's not sensible having um, Snake in this game and Bayonetta, these like mature characters and with machine guns and stuff, and also they're in a Mario game, to what I would consider a Mario style type of game where
Mm-hmm.
all these cutesy characters are fighting around, but then the nonsensical nature of it makes it fun, and that part's great. Um, I will say uh, one thing that I do appreciate the game and my limited experience playing it is how every character is unique with their move sets. Like they do really feel like they're catered to that particular character. Like they're not unless it's Ryu and Ken, for example, they're not really clones of each other. Like they all kind of feel different. Like their timing and what their attacks, their basic attacks, everything about them. It's really well thought out. So you can tell they actually spent some time in development with each character and giving them their moveset kit or whatever. And it's yeah, it's definitely something that makes that game a standout compared to other fighting games to me. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I totally agree. I mean, it's why I have an entire display case of all of those collectible action figures, and a
yeah.
vast majority of them are from Smash Brothers. So, and the next one comes out on the 30th, actually. And Min Min is
Oh,
the next one. Yeah, she's from ARMS, which Smash Brothers is a far better game, but the way she plays in Smash Brothers is actually really cool. So it's like, but again, he took the elements of ARMS and did such a phenomenal job of integrating the spirit of the mechanics, not necessarily the actual mechanics, but the spirit of the mechanics of that game into Smash Brothers. He and his design team, they're really good. I mean, they're really, really a talented group of people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't. I know for sure that there's gonna be another one coming out
Sure.
these days. But it's also another kind of weird thing, like kind of like with the Mario Kart. Like, what else is there left for them to do? I mean,
Well, the rumor is, I mean, well, obviously at this point, given that they're doing this massive course expansion for Mario Kart 8 into 2023, right, where they're adding basically an entirely new game's worth of tracks into Mario Kart 8.
uh,
Whenever we see a new Mario Kart, I suspect, like Smash Brothers, it will be on
yeah,
the new system.
yeah,
Um, but the rumor right now, which is a rumor and is completely unverified, but I think is could be fun, is they're going to go Smash Brothers with it. And so rather than just Mario Kart, they're going to bring in um, uh, characters from all the Nintendo games, right? So maybe Ness from Earthbound and Kirby and all and turn it more into Mario Smash Brothers, or Mario Kart Brothers, or whatever, Super Kart Brothers, or whatever the better title that I'm not thinking of would be.
yeah,
Um, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know what the mechanical shift would be, because obviously Nintendo, generally speaking, doesn't do just aesthetic changes.
yeah,
They always have some sort of a mechanics element that differentiates it from the previous ones. So like in Mario Kart, I think, what was it, Mario Kart Wii, they added motorcycles, and then in Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS they added gliders and underwater sections, and then Mario Kart 8 they added the anti-grav stuff. And so they don't generally speaking just release a new entry into the series without trying to integrate some new mechanic to vary the gameplay up. It's one of the reasons why we haven't seen a new F-Zero in God knows how many years. Is they've asked various creative types like Shigeru Miyamoto, Satoru Iwata, when he was still alive, and the answer was, we'll do another F-Zero when we feel like we have something to contribute to the franchise. But
yeah,
they don't want to just do a graphics update and re-release it. I
yeah.
mean, they do that, but generally it's for reboots of Zelda and things of that nature.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. See Mario Kart with. Well, I mean, then again, it just seems like it'll be hokey and weird seeing Snake driving alongside Mario.
I'm
So like,
curious if they'd get, like, I mean, I'm certain that they'll do Namco characters, because Namco did the arcade version, and so I'm sure we would see Pac-Man and characters like that. But I don't know if you'd see like Solid Snake or Mega Man or anything like that come through.
yeah, yeah. But you can't help but wonder.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm yeah, with Mario Kart, it's already a pretty much a near perfect version of it. I mean, I do miss Double Dash. I do like having the tag team aspect, the Double Dash app, and I
Hmm.
wish it would back in some form. Mario Kart's a really good. The Mario Kart 8, there's no reason to change anything. I mean, it's just keep making new courses and we're good.
I mean, I think that that's what their attitude is why. I mean, like, they could make an entirely new thing, but if they don't have any new mechanics in mind, they can do a whole new game's worth of courses and just sell it at a discount, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this new DLC pack, it's got 48 courses for $25, right?
yeah,
I mean, it's like 50 cents a course, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, that's a really good deal. Um, and so you're getting almost an entirely new game's worth of content, minus characters and cart redesigns. But really, honestly, the courses are what I care more about, right?
mhm,
The characters and the carts are more just about the stats. What stats you want to bring into a race. The aesthetics of those stats just happen to look like Mario characters, but ultimately the courses are the main attraction to Mario Kart. So I mean, the logic to me is sound, right? Charge 50 cents a course over the course of a year or year and a half, and you almost have like an entirely new entry in the game without having to release a new $60 product, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, more. Well, either way, I'll probably. I haven't bought the new courses yet myself, but yeah, I'll fork over the money eventually at some point. I mean,
they're really good. I mean, we've talked about them at length. They're really quite good. And I know fans have been complaining about the texture quality and whatnot, but I don't really, that none of that stuff really carries any water for me. The layouts, the designs are phenomenal, and the way they sort of update older courses to reflect the new mechanics of the game is great. I mean, my only complaint, and this is more of a nitpick than anything else, there were a couple of courses in the first 8 that were released, which I thought had opportunities to use anti-grav sections, and they didn't use anti-grav sections. And that was it. Like that. It's like that's the only nitpick that I have.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah. I can't like I haven't played Mario Kart enough to have any skin in the game as far as like being so passionate about a particular course or anything like that. To like I don't like they all seem like the whole game is still new to me. Like
hmm
even old courses, so I don't have any distinct I don't have an eye for um what else what needs to be improved in the game because I just have a lot of fun with it. But I play with nieces and nephews and family, and it's a great game for that.
Oh yeah, I mean, my one of my best friends, I've been going over to his place since the new courses launched, and we picked up Mario Kart 8 again. We've been playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again. I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because no matter what, it's almost like a point where it's a timeless type of game. Because
hmm
a lot of people know how to play it. It's been in pop culture forever now at this point.
hmm hmm
Have found a way to play it and pretty much get it, and it's easy to pick up and play. And yeah, that's great. Now the opposite of that is the game I'm playing now, which is Elden Ring.
Oh,
And
yes, Elden Ring. Yes.
yeah, and I think I was talking to you about this offline a little bit, mainly just ranting. And at this point, I went from raving the first week of playing it to now I'm ranting about it because
Mm.
I would consider myself a fan of the Souls Born series. I've played every single one of them, beat every single one of them. I've even like completely.
Well, oh, yeah, I mean, over the years that we've been doing the stream, we've talked about all of the Souls games at length at various points.
Yeah. And so at this point, though, I feel like with this one, and whether I'm getting older or if it's or I just played all of them to death. I mean, now it's getting to a point now where I'm getting kind of just it's getting old.
Mm.
Um, leveling up your character only to go to the next area, and then what you thought was leveling up your character and getting more health, a big, larger health pool, you still get one-shotted against certain bosses. And it's like, what's the? And it's just, I'm starting to see a pattern with the game. It's like I'm a glutton for punishment, obviously, for playing all of them for so long. But yeah, it's just, it is they're. I think they're running out of ideas. Is
hmm
kind of. I was fighting a particular boss in the game, and I think a lot of people online have been complaining about this particular boss. Millennia is her name.
I have heard of this character.
Yeah, and boy, talking about a cheap shot character. And there's this whole, there's definitely the attitude of people saying, "Yo, get good at the game." Like,
Right,
no,
get good. Yeah, that's standard. That's standard. Yeah.
no, it's something else when a character can, when you're fighting, with the sword in hand, melee fighting, whatever, and she's a melee fighter, you have to get up close and hit her, smack her, smack the shield or smack the sword, whatever, and then she can hit you, and then vampiric aura her health back.
Mm.
She can one shot you. It's like you have to play a perfect round to beat her, and it's not about skill; it's about luck a lot. Now, obviously, get good doesn't mean anything to me because I got to that point in the game. It's like it's at the end of the game.
I mean, yeah, right. You've gone, and it's not just Elden Ring. You're an expert. You're a veteran of these Souls types games. So, get good does not apply to you.
Yeah, get good is not. It's not. I just don't. I don't subscribe to that. I think it's just bad design. I hate to say it. I mean, I love Miyazaki's work on all his games, but I think Elden Ring is sort of like where I don't know if we should make any more games. I just think
Mm.
like, I'm playing it through because I'm a huge fan, but after this particular boss fight, I was like, yeah, I can't wait to be done with this game and move on to Mario Odyssey. In
Oh,
my life.
there you go. Yeah, that's a game you need more of in your life. I've played through it at least twice. I've never 100%ed it because it's ridiculous how many moons there are in that game. Over 1,000. And I'm just like, I loved it. I played through the core game twice fully,
Mhm.
and the music is great, and the world design is great, and it's just like it is the quintessential Mario game. I frankly don't really know how you improve on it, at least in the sort of traditional 3D Mario space. Now, you can go in a completely different direction, like in Super Mario 3D World, the port to the Switch, they added an entire sub game called Bowser's Fury,
Uh-huh.
which was effectively an open world Mario game,
Okay.
and it was pretty compelling as a sort of a proof of concept. Now it was, it was scoped where there was a series of islands that had their own unique challenges, and you could swim between the islands, and so it wasn't like Breath of the Wild, right? So everything was still somewhat contained, but there weren't discrete levels per se.
Uh-huh.
Um, you had the freedom to go to any section of the map whenever you wanted to and try out the different challenges that were in each location of the map, and it was pretty fun. It was I enjoyed it, and I was like, I want to see more of this. So,
So and then that's what so that was what the inspiration for Mario Odyssey was that was
no, I think Mario Odyssey was its own beast. This came out. Super Mario 3D World came out after Mario Odyssey. This came out like last year,
oh,
and Mario Odyssey came out like 4 or 5 years ago now, if you can believe that.
wait.
Um,
Pause for a second. So I thought Super Mario 3D World came out in 3DS first.
well, yeah, Super Mario 3D Land came out on the 3DS,
Oh,
and this
okay.
was the sequel, Super Mario 3D World, and it's kind of an homage to Super Mario Land on the Game Boy versus Super Mario World on the Super NES. So it's kind of a play on that naming convention.
Okay. All right. Huh.
But that Super Mario 3D World originally came out on the Wii U, and then they ported it over to the Switch and added this sub game called Bowser's Fury. And in it, it had all of the power ups and stuff from Super Mario 3D World, but it was a fully open experience that was completely unique. It was completely different from the level design and layout of Super Mario 3D World, which was still discrete stages.
Okay. Man, I'm still behind in my Mario universe game playing.
Sure, I can't speak to Elden Ring at all, so we all have our vices. We all have our video game vices.
Yeah, it's funny how far apart these games are. The last Mario game I sat down and played, I believe, what I would consider a traditional Mario game was Galaxy on the Wii.
Also, an excellent
Yeah,
Mario entry.
great game. But you know what? By the time I was done with that game, I was exhausted playing it. I never played it again. Great game though. Like it's such
Hmm.
but yeah, I was burnt. I was like, I think I'm done playing 3D platform games for a while.
Well, Odyssey is very different than Galaxy, but brilliant in its own way, if not just for the pure joy of the level design. I mean, there's just so you can just tell that the designers and the environment artists and just everybody was just having a great time making that game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so obvious.
Mhm.
It is such to me at least, it comes across as such a passion project with a infinite budget, right? This is what happens when you have all three: time, skill, and or time. What is it? Time, quality, and You can have it on time, you can have it high quality, you can have it in budget, right? Budget versus quality versus time, right?
Yeah, yeah,
This is what happens when you have an infinite budget, an infinite time, and infinite quality, in my opinion.
yeah, and that's what you get. Yeah, I believe it. I mean, it's I've seen gameplay footage of it, which compelled me to buy the game. Like I said, I'm sitting on it, and I'll eventually, like I said, I want to play it. But I have that game, and I also have Bayonetta 2 to play.
Mm.
Uh,
Well, you better get to it. Bayonetta 3 is they finally released some gameplay footage and
yeah, and I can't wait to play that one either. I'm a fan of Platinum games, what they make usually. I mean, can't think of any stinkers from Platinum that I've played that I just couldn't recommend it to friends. But
I mean there are some,
yeah,
but they're mostly games that I haven't really pursued, honestly.
mm. So yeah, it was quite a bit. But yeah, I'm as far as Elden Ring is concerned, yeah, I'm trying to just wrap it up now at this point. It's like, yeah, okay.
Do they have like the new game plus?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All the games have the new game plus aspect to it, which is fun. But that's more or less that's like a side thing. I don't know if I might play a little bit, because between the difference between you and me when we're on a PlayStation is I trophy chase sometimes. So sometimes I get
Mm.
that stuff. I know you don't care about that.
Not anymore. In the early days when it was still new and novel, I did.
Yeah, yeah. But now, the bragging rights are not. There's not really any point. But I like to do it just because the developers put it in there as if to imply, oh, this is something made. This is something monumental for you to try. It's like
Hmm.
kind of more of a outside set of
I
goals to kind of do. For
I
each
guess
one. Yeah,
I guess I take. I mean, yeah. It's I'm of two minds about it. Like, you do these trophies and you get bragging rights
yeah,
to tell friends, which is nice, but a lot of these objectives could have just been integrated into the main game and
yeah.
given you in-game rewards, right?
Yeah, that's just kind of weird. Yeah, I'm with you on that. And yeah, and yet they don't like what? Why not give you something for doing that? I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Now, Microsoft played around with this a little bit on the Xbox One, where they started allowing games to link avatar items, or no, Xbox 360 even, actually, when they started allowing games to link avatar items to achievements. So, like some achievements would give a free prop that your avatar could play with. This is back when everybody was going crazy over the Mii's, and so everybody had their own copies of that.
Yeah.
And the Microsoft avatars, which, fun fact, were developed by Rare, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah, they're really cool. Those actors were awesome.
Yeah, they were really cool. So yeah, they did that on the Xbox 360, but the fad passed, and people really didn't care about avatars anymore, and so they started fading them out. But yeah, for a while, achievements actually like had some meaning because you could potentially unlock. I mean, it's all cosmetic stuff. None of it was game changers or really worth anything. But you could unlock little costume pieces for your avatar, and I thought that was really really cool. I thought that was a really compelling way of giving actual interest to achievements beyond just bragging rights.
Yeah, I remember that. On my avatar, I had like because I love Mass Effect 1 and 2.
Hmm.
And I ended up unlocking some little toy thing from Mass Effect, that little rover type
Yeah,
of
the
thing. I
Moon
think.
Rover. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called either. But anyways, but it was kind of cool. And you got the helmet and stuff. And I don't even recall how I got that stuff, but I can't remember if I just bought it online or if I just unlocked it through the game or I got it as a pre-day, pre-order bonus or something like that. I can't remember. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I do remember that, and I don't remember how you got it anymore.
yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. Um, well, as far as Chloe Jane's concerned, I pretty much got her new post here almost done. I got to do her
Hmm.
shoot. But yeah, I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking like there's probably a good stopping point for now.
Okay, sounds good. Well, it seems like you're making progress, and that's good. I love the back three-quarter view of her head. It's
Yeah, we need that for her anyway.
yeah. So.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Very
liking it too.
cool. Yeah, it looks like it's really coming along. All right, well, then with that in mind, then, since this is a good stopping point, I guess we will wrap it up for the evening. Thanks for doing all your pretty art while we talked about geeky stuff, as always. As always, everybody, you can find us on calamityjane.rocks. That'll take you to our Patreon site. Please consider subscribing and helping us make this cartoon faster. Your money makes things go faster. Because right now we're working on quality and time, but we have no budget.
Yeah.
So we have infinite time, but money will make that infinity come down to infinity minus one, and maybe infinity minus two even. In any case, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook and all of the things there, and YouTube, which is presumably where you're watching the stream right now. Otherwise, have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye. All right.